hot. Have you ever feel outcasted because you're black, your nose is flat, you're small, your nationality, or even your gender? Well, that thing is called racism. So, what is racism? Racism, the belief that different races possess distinct characteristics, abilities, or qualities, especially so as to distinguish them as inferior or superior to one another. So, what is the origin of racism? The origin of racism is race, because race is one of the reasons why people think that they are superior to one another, because when it comes to races, some of them are royal and some of us are slap soils. So that is one of the origin of racism. So the reason of racism is, first of all, is media. Why? Media tend to differentiate the characteristic of racism. Example, the black people. Media tend to say that black people are criminals, right? Next reason is casting blame. Casting blame is one of the reasons is because people tend to say that illegal immigrants is the reason why suffrage peoples are choo-choo-choo-choo, and then some of them said that they're stealing their jobs, but the real is illegal immigrants are just homeless people without jobs, right? Next is living in an echo chamber. So living in an echo chamber is one of the reasons of racism, because when you're in that circle, they tend to insult some people, and then you tend to insult them too, because in a way that they can know that you are one of them. Next is oneself. Oneself is one of the reasons why racism is occurs, because some people are just tend to insult them just because they want them. Some say that, oh, you're black people, oh, you're poor, oh, you're some or whatsoever, and that is one of the reasons of racism. Next is the effect of racism. So one of the effect of racism is depression. When someone is being insulted, they tend to think of it, and then that thinking leads to depression, and depression leads to some suicidal thoughts. Next is arguments. For some reasons, racism is one of the most caused of arguments in every part of the world. Arguments can lead sometimes in people hurting each other. So, the question is, how can we stop this racism? How can we prevent it to happen? Is there any solution? So the first solution is ignoring racist people. Ignore those insulting you, just stay away from them and be positive in life. Because no matter what they say, it didn't matter. Next one is listen and educate yourself. Pay attention to the voices of the people who experience racism every day. Listen to friends, classmates, neighbors, and community leaders. Okay. Next is raise awareness. Share the resources that you have found useful with your community, to help them learn how they can play as a role in ending racism and discrimination. If you have younger siblings or family members, set a good example for them. Next is report them to the authorities. When the situation still persists and the person keep harassing you, you should report it immediately. This kind of people need to learn their mistakes. They need to be educated, just like what I said of awareness. For the last 4 slides, I just want to say that let's stop racism. Racism is not a good idea to think about. Just imagine insulting people just because they are black. Imagine that telling them that they are poor, they are not part of this community, they're just a slap cell in the environment. No, stop that. Because they are just humans. No matter what races we are, no matter what kind of person we are, we're still human. We still poop as that people poop, right? It smells like really bad shit. When A world without racism. There's a strong unity with people, right? Like, there's no such rallies, there's no terrorism, of course, there's no corruption or whatsoever that happen in our society. Just think about it. A world without racism. Just look at the people around you. They're all happy, right? So I'm telling you, my friend, that the important of love in this world is, no matter what your race is, don't think about it. Just think about who you are and what you are, and don't think that you're superior to everybody, because every people is equal no matter what happened.